Hi guys, Mike BK Fony here. This show is called Don't Get Your Hopes Up, and this is Lore.
Hi, I'm Lore. Don't get your hopes up.
We didn't work it in really well that time, which is fine.
We didn't.
Which is fine, because remember, we need that lull first before we really drive it home.
Yeah, and more importantly, we need to make sure not to ever actually put any effort into this thing.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. Oh, man, I'm so happy. Oh, Jesus. So, we're here to talk about things that happened in this past week. And we have we have a lot of things. I actually wasn't sure because I just got back from PAX, and I was worried that all I would have to talk about was PAX. But there is apparently an update on Gamergate's Lore with more.
Yeah, so I just received this short bulletin. Yes, exactly. So it's apparently called Gamergate now. That's a thing. Yeah, I guess that was like some hashtag that like people were starting to use as like a no, they're just complaining and these are actually terrible people and like all sorts of like just general stupidity all around. I don't think we want to get into it too much again today. We've talked about the whole, like, the Depression Quest thing, the Anita Sarkeesian thing. We've talked about this stuff a bunch already. If you want to know our opinions on it, I mean, the TLDR is don't be dicks.
Pretty much.
But, like, there's a couple of episodes of this show already that you can go back and listen to, all that. But I think it's still an important thing to like keep in people's minds as we continue on with this. Just like people on the internet are being assholes, and that's
they're stepping
dumb.
It up. They're stepping it up, which is like really dudes, like come on. And it's also, I mean, I don't want to get into it. But it's
we're gonna accidentally talk about this for 30 minutes.
It's being stepped up on the front of people saying stupid shit on the internet. And people, in the way the media and the way that they're reporting on the stupid shit of the internet, and it's like, just on all fronts, it's the whole thing is basically falling apart, and it's just like I feel like it's just gonna start losing its focus. It's gonna be more about people saying stupid stuff on the internet, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be like, okay, well, I'm glad we got over that. And
I do think it's like an interesting thing to sort of keep an eye on though, because like this is sort of like this could be. Like the internet culture or gamer culture or whatever is sort of like adolescent becoming an adult phase. Cause like, is this the point? A lot of people have been drawing a lot of parallels between this whole Gamergate thing and a whole bunch of stuff that happened in Hollywood several years ago. And it's the sort of thing where Hollywood people sort of shit themselves about this for a while. And there was some really bad stuff that happened. And then everybody sort of learned from the experience, and things are supposedly improved now at this point. I don't know the Hollywood industry enough to say that, like, directly myself, but I think it's an important thing for people on the internet to be aware that the internet person culture is sort of evolving at this stage, I think.
And the bigger it gets, which it's not, I mean, all of us are getting older, and we're still playing games. It's not like we're not growing out of it, but it's growing. I mean, more and more people as all these kids grow up on Minecraft. You know, like playing it not even with a controller, like playing with a touchscreen and being perfectly content with that. Yeah, like, we're recruiting at an alarming rate.
Yeah, dude, my I remember how he was like 6 or 7 at the time. Nephew, like, made a video guide on YouTube for like what was it? What
Minecraft,
was it?
Right?
No, it wasn't Minecraft. That's my friend's kid.
It's non-conformist child.
Minecraft. No, it was the Skylanders. That's what it was.
Oh,
the one where you
I should watch it because I know very little about Skylanders.
Well, I don't even know where it is anymore. I'll find it and link it to you.
It's okay. I could probably just
But yeah,
Google
it's like, at this point, talking about internet culture is almost as dumb as talking about, like, human culture. Like, let's define the culture of humanity. Well, you really can't, because there's so many different cultures and, like, countries and peoples and everything that mix together in various ways and don't mix together in various ways, and
Yeah.
occasionally get really angry at each other in various ways. And that's sort of what, like, as more and more and more of humanity as a species is now getting into the internet, this is just the sort of thing that's bound to happen. And a lot of the sort of like old guard is gonna have to get used to the fact that they're not the only people anymore. So
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, that's we're not. I don't feel like we're being very indirect with it. Like it's very specific. You could just Google Gamergate and get your ass caught up on it, and listen to the past couple episodes that we've talked, because we've talked about this very extensively.
Yeah.
And I think you summed it up perfectly. It's a saying that I throw around all the time. Don't be a dick.
Yep.
Stop being dicks. Just stop.
Yep. Just stop it.
You gain nothing.
Yeah.
You gain nothing for being a dick.
You gain nothing by being a dick. Freedom of speech is not freedom to be an ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was funny. It was really confusing because, you know, again, I was at PAX, and I was living in this, like, apparently this utopian world where nothing else is happening. And I come back and then I see Gamergate and I'm like, oh, what else happened? What can we talk about this week on you know, don't get your hopes up. And I look at it, I was like, oh, it's the same thing. Oh, but they're getting more like silly. It's like, oh God, why do they gotta keep doing this? It's the same thing,
but with a new hashtag.
Exactly. Yeah, they gave it a name now, so it's interesting to see. Again, we're not playing it down. It's still a pretty serious issue, but we're not gonna beat it up every single week on this podcast.
Yeah, it's just sort of like when we were first talking about it. If I wasn't like the first episode even titled like "Internet can resolve a gender war peacefully." Don't get your hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would hope that, or maybe I shouldn't hope because I shouldn't get my hopes up, but I would expect that if you did not get your hopes up, then none of this should come as a surprise to you. So
exactly.
So speaking of surprises, surprise! Talk about PAX.
Oh man, I was upset. I thought you were gonna be like, speaking of surprises. So about them leaked nudes, and I was like, oh, we're gonna go there. Oh man, it's like which is the other biggest thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know what? I was watching this whole thing unfold, and we're not gonna get into this. I was watching the whole thing unfold, and I was actually looking for a reason to tie it into gaming somehow. You know, and it's like none of these girls like have played any of the games that I played. Like, I don't even know how I was trying to like deduce like what it was. Like if it was like Mila Kunis or something, I'd be like, hey, she played WoW. So look at this. Yeah. Hey, dicks, look at this shit.
I mean, it was iCloud, so they probably at some point played Angry Birds. I've played Angry Birds. I feel like this is really affecting my people.
That's the tie-in. Yeah. That is obviously a whole nother very lengthy discussion that we've seen all over the place, and it's there's just a lot of stuff going on right now in the industry, like in just every industry with gender. You see the word social justice warriors thrown around. You see the words or the phrase slut shaming being thrown around. It's happening. Like it's happening all over the place, and it's really, really, really intense right now.
It's even getting to the point like there was the whole like there was the hashtag We Love Game Devs that was flying around last week, which was sort of a or maybe that was earlier this week. It was a sort of like continuation of the whole like game dev harassment thing, which is still an issue and has been an issue for a while, and it keeps bubbling up again. And it's gotten to the point where the the Independent Game Developers Association, I think is the name of the
IGDA.
Yeah, they were actually approached
international.
International,
yeah.
That's right. They were actually approached by the FBI as like, hey, I was reading an article about it, and according to this article, which I don't even remember where I saw it, so call into question anything that you like. But according to this article, hello, cat. Please get off of me. I'm trying to do a podcast right now.
Dang it, cat. Lock your cat out like I do.
Yeah. So according to this article, the FBI actually approached the IGDA and was like, hey, here are our capabilities. How can we help? Sort of thing. Like, how can we help pinpoint these people that are, like, actually putting serious mental
threats
and possibly even, like, physical harassment issues against these game developers? And, of course, the IGDA was like, someone knows who we are. So that was cool. But, like, still, it's the sort of thing that I think it's... like, the only reason I really mention it is because, like, you see so many people in the midst of all these issues and all the discussions going on and everything who are saying stuff like, well, it doesn't matter. It's just words on the internet. A, it's just words on the internet. It can't hurt anybody, which is patently false. And B, like, well, me talking about it doesn't help. And actually, it kind of does. Like, the bigger of a like shouting match that ends up happening over these sorts of issues, the more likely the people that can actually do something about it, like the FBI, will actually decide it's worth their time to step in and see what they can do.
Yeah.
So, and this is something that like America's actually kind of behind in this whole thing, because I know that like even in England, like there's actual laws against being like harassing people on Twitter, and you can get like arrested and stuff over it. So,
oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but that would also be infringing on my freedoms of speech.
Like I said, freedom of speech is not freedom to be an ass.
It's also
you're allowed
to
hold whatever opinions you like. You're allowed to discuss those opinions. You are not allowed to just be a jerk.
It's also not freedom, which I know that a lot. Everyone, if you're watching this, you're probably not an idiot, or if you're reading this, or whatever. If you listen, whatever. If you hear the words coming out of our mouth, you're probably not an idiot. You probably know that freedom of speech is not something that's protected through Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter is a private platform in a sense. Yeah. So they can make a rule saying, hey, don't be a dick. And guess what? You can't be a dick now. And that's the end of that.
This is why we have things like terms of use.
Exactly. It's the end of your dickery right there.
Mm-hmm. The end of your dick. What?
Yeah, yes, see? That gets attention right there.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So, speaking of attention, how was PAX?
Oh, man. Is it me? I'm the attention, right?
So, speaking of segues.
Exactly. That was a beautiful, beautiful segue.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
So, I'm not entirely sure, and I even wrote this down. Like, we have a little notepad where we kind of keep track of stuff called Google Docs. You may have heard of it. I even wrote, I was all like, PAX, where do I even begin? Because there is so much stuff that happened. So first off, with what I do, with me, just me as an individual, when I go to these events, sometimes I'll, during the day I'll do the camera thing and I'll operate the camera and everything, and I'll help Lindsay, or we'll do the interviews and whatnot, or whatever other random package shows we could do, creating content in a sense. But other times we'll focus more on kind of meeting with people. I'll focus more on just meeting with people and going out and the parties and everything. And the parties are great because, I mean, not only is it a party where everybody is obviously a very like-minded individual with what you get to you get to meet people in the industry, and this weekend, even though PAX is like, here's what happens with me. When I go to E3 or GDC, I come back with a stack of cards, people representing agencies. Like, I must see PR and agency like a billion times as I go through these stacks of cards that I get, business cards. And that's kind of like the key thing. It's kind of like, it's like one of those things. It's, I guess if you go to like New Orleans, you come back with like a ton of beads or something. I don't know what it is, but it's just like it's just kind of like a prize thing. It's like, look at all these business cards I got, but it's, I don't know if that was a good analogy or not, but you really get to meet and interact with people. And PAX, you get to meet and interact with some of the up and coming and also some of the established people in our community, in the internet personality community. So like, for example, I ran into Tally like a bunch of times, and obviously I always talk to him. Like, it's gotten to the point where we don't really talk. It's like, yo, hey, what's up, man? Hey, it was good seeing you. All right, well, I gotta do this thing.
Hey, it's you again.
Yeah, right. It's funny. You and I think in the pilot we talked about DJ Wheat. Remember? Yeah. I ran into him. It was at a Frag Dolls party, and the Frag Dolls party was not really a party. It was kind of a mixer. What they did was they took over the rec room in a hotel, like the fourth floor of a hotel or something. And the rec room is supposed to be, part of the hotel. It's not something you just license out or like, rent out for a party. And of course we did. The Frag Dolls took it over, and the whole time we got so many complaints against us. But the whole time people were like, shh, because it's on the same hallway as their rooms, Yeah. And so the whole time I was like, shh. And so I ran to DJ Wheat, and I'm like, "Oh shit, dude, it's a DJ Wheat." We were talking. He knew, he remembers the conversation, and we were talking about that a little bit, and I told him I apologize because I should have recognized that he was a Twitch employee and not engaged in the issue. And then he like counter apologized by saying I should have said that I was a Twitch employee and not engaged in the issue. But, we had a really good discussion about just like, how, he really like the whole like Amazon acquisition, like he cannot even be more thrilled about how things are going there right now. So it's just like it's obviously really good for them. And, you and I think we both agree that we're pretty happy with the fact that Amazon is the one that did the purchase.
Yeah. Or at the very least, not Google.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Because competition is a good thing, kids.
Yeah, exactly. I've met JP McDaniel before. You know who that is, right? Yeah. I met him before, probably a couple times. But last night was the first time that I met him. I got his business card, which is weird. I don't know why I got his business card. And I don't remember the conversation we had.
Okay.
Like, because it was at the very, very, very end of the Twitch party. And I remember we were having a deep ass conversation, which means he was probably drunk. And I was also drunk. But I don't remember the conversation. But it was deep, man. And I got a card. And so it's like, all right. It's basically all this card serves as is, I ran into JP this weekend.
It's a trophy.
Exactly. With obviously with running into Towley, you get to meet a lot of his Hammer Squad. And if you're not familiar with what the Hammer Squad is, it's basically his own kind of like circle of friends or network where he set it up so he can help other streamers kind of get on their feet, which I think is obviously very commendable, right? I mean, he's a popular guy, obviously, and these people I've met, which in this case it was all actually females, right? Yeah, it was Takarita or Morgan. I actually spent the entire time talking to her boyfriend. I don't even know what we were talking about. It was like something about what he does for a living, and I don't remember what that was. But she seemed nice. I talked to her boyfriend the whole time. I mean, you know what it was? Our discussion was actually about supporting people who are trying to, pursue their dreams in a sense by leaving their full-time job and doing this very sketchy, gaming thing.
It's a scary jump to make, man. When you're like, no, I'm not gonna collect a regular income anymore. I'm gonna hope that the YouTubes are good to me. Like.
I know. I hope people click on my videos.
Yeah,
it's
like
it's
especially if you try to make that transition like air quotes right, because that like in order to do that you have to work like 600 hours a week, like in the interim period until you can finally be like, okay, this other income is now stable enough that I can drop my main income. But even then, it's like now I'm earning two incomes right now basically. And I'm going to go back down to just one. So it's a big loss for you at that point.
And that one is usually less than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, obviously it was the same that I'm sure you did and I did the same thing too. My wife worked a full-time job and I was like, so I'm going to leave my $70,000 a year, whatever it was, job and make video games and make like $500 a month.
It's a good jump to make.
Yep. Oh yeah, it paid off. It was good. It was very good. So when I meet these people, and it's every PAX, I always meet these kind of fledgling streamers who have just gotten started, or some of them are a bit more actually, a bit more further along. Like obviously Towley. I met CC. I don't know if you know who CC is, but she's a popular League streamer. I met her. She was really, really nice. I watched her stream and I was all like, "Oh, this is not the person I met." That's pretty funny. Like she must really hate her chat room. She was a sweetheart when I met her. But it's interesting to see like these people kind of in the early stages, like where you and I were basically like years ago.
Yeah. Well, and even like I actually think nowadays, like I think we got kind of lucky that we sort of got in on like not quite on the ground floor, but like sort of close to it before things really started to blow up. Like, so you and I were both able to establish a bit of an audience at the, well, no one else is really doing this yet sort of stage. Where like, when I was making video guides for TankSpot, we were like the only people that were doing that at the time. So now there's a billion video guides coming out for everything. It's something where we sort of had the advantage of there wasn't much in the way of competition at the time. So we were able to build up a little bit of a reputation ahead of time. Obviously, I think it's fair to say that we've done well for ourselves since then. So.
Yeah, and that's true. And it's, it's funny. You can say that we kind of got in early.
Yeah, because like nowadays, if you have no following whatsoever, and you say, you know what, I want to get into like you have barely made a Twitter account sort of thing, and you're like, I am tired of I watch streams all the time. I want to start streaming instead for a living. It is freaking hard to get into that. Like,
yeah.
There are so many streams. Every once in a while, I will go and just pop into somebody's stream who's got 10 viewers on Twitch and just pop in and say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? Like, just chat with them for a minute. Just because it's like these guys, they stream all day, every day. They pull 10 viewers the whole time. They're categorically not making money off of this at all. It's impossible.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
So it's like, and people will do this for ages because they're like, no, I love doing this and I want to eventually build up that audience. And for some of them it works and for some of them it doesn't. Like, people can stream all day, every day for upwards of a year and never grow at all just because nobody noticed them, sort of thing.
Yeah, you know what? So, Shizzle's a pretty good case for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, him and I met when we were trying to put together a Minecraft show for Game Breaker. And it was actually a pretty neat concept. Even today, it's still like a pretty neat concept. But anyways, we started a game together, and he was just getting started. And I may have thrown him a couple people here and there, whatever. But it was truly his dedication to playing every single night. And that's what he did. And now it's like he's got a ton of subs. He gets he doesn't get like 10,000 or 30,000 viewers, but he has a lot of subs and a lot of really dedicated people that are just like he'll be playing DayZ and he'll see someone, right? And before he could be like, I wonder if that guy's friendly, he'll get a donation of like $50 or something. It'll be like $500 if you kill him. And it's just like, he's just built this really great community, and and I remember his dedication.
And I remember I used to play DayZ with him all the time while we were streaming, and it was really actually kind of awesome to watch because my viewer numbers stayed pretty stable with DayZ. It wasn't a game that I streamed a ton of. You'd only ever do it when I would really only ever stream it if I was playing with Shizzle. This is just not a game that I'm known for at all. So like my audience, some of them would hang around because it was me, but otherwise it was just Lore is streaming, so I'm gonna watch Lore, not necessarily this guy's doing something cool, which is fine. So the whole purpose of you mentioning that is that my numbers stayed pretty stable. And when we started doing this, I had a bunch more viewers than he did. And as time went on, like it got closer and closer and closer, and then it stopped. Like there was a point where people stopped saying like, oh, Lore is playing with Shizzle, and they started saying, oh, Shizzle's playing with Lore. and that was the point where I was like, he's doing pretty well for himself. He's putting because that's really the big thing, is the time and the dedication that you have to put into it. Shizzle is somebody who said, no, I am going to do this. I'm going to stream constantly every day. And like even still, like every day he streams. And it worked. Like he started from very, very humble beginnings and worked his way up. So bravo, Shizzle.
Bravo, Shizzle. Yes. Yeah. Dude, I do love me some Shizzle though.
Yeah. No, I'd still like, oh, man. As soon as H1Z1 hits early access, we got to get all over that.
Man, I'm telling you, we got Space Engineers, and then we have Destiny, and then we got so much stuff.
Yeah.
We got so much stuff. Well, you know what we need?
These are all things we have to do.
We need time.
We do need time.
We need time. That's all we're missing. When does that come out? Is there a release date on that?
Does time come out? Yeah. When are we adding another day to the week?
Yeah,
I don't think Shizzle even has a PS4.
Yep.
Someone donate Shizzle a PS4.
Wait, did he not? No, he has one.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah, he just got one recently.
Oh, okay.
So he's prepped.
No one donate Shizzle his PS4. I take it back. Don't do it.
Oh man. Yeah, let me just wrap up the PAX thing because we could talk all day on that. Or I can talk all day on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the parties were great. The best part about it too was like I also got to meet. Another good part about it is I got to meet a lot of people who I've never met before, but I've worked with. Like I met Elizabeth, who is she did the Guild Wars 2 podcast on Game Breaker, and she also did Twemo sometimes. I met her and we went out for coffee. She works for ArenaNet now. Yeah, her title is I think screenshot artist or something.
She tweeted something at me the other day, and I just caught it in her Twitter bio. I was like, oh, she works at ArenaNet now, and I looked at her title, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it's like basically she controls a lot of the forward-facing stuff, and so it's not just screenshots; it's kind of like a lot of editorial as well. But it's funny. Instead of like going for some kind of like editorial like title, like she's like, yeah, screenshot artist, it's cool, whatever. Yeah. But I got to meet her, and we had coffee, and she was an amazing person to meet, in person, I guess you could say. And we just basically bullshitted about like whatever and talked about cameras and cats and shit, the usual stuff. And then probably the biggest shocker was in terms of like meeting people that I've worked with but never met in person was Pocket, because like Pocket, she works for BioWare now. You know what Pocket is, right? Hillary Nicole. Yeah. So she was for BioWare now as a community manager, or not community manager, community relations, or something like that. But she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, there's a party / press event going on for Shadow Realms, for BioWare Shadow Realms. Do you want to go?" And I was all like, "Yeah, sure." And she's like, "Have we met before, like in person?" I was like, I have to think about that. I don't know. I don't think so. It's like we've done so many shows together, and Pocket and I have very, I would definitely say that we both have very strong personalities, and so we tend to butt heads on things. Like if we don't agree with each other, we will definitely let each other know.
Yeah.
But meeting her in person was just, it was pleasant. Like she was, she's still the same person she is on stream, of course. But just to see her just animated like a real person, like it really kind of changed my perspective on like how we discuss things. And we talked, dude, her and I, like, we wrapped up like a party or something, and we just started talking about games and life or something. And next thing I know, it's like 5 a.m. It's like, all right, I should probably go back to the hotel,
I've got to get up in an hour.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'm not sleeping tonight. But like we were like in a hotel lobby or something like that, just like some drinks and just talking. And it was really great. Like that kind of stuff is really, it really makes these conventions worth it, like worth going. Outside, of course, the business gains, lots of business gains too. But still, like on a personal level, like I really enjoyed meeting a lot of these people.
Yeah, even something like BlizzCon, which is coming up in a couple of months here. Like the convention is great. Convention is super cool. And I haven't been to a ton of other conventions, but I've always had people tell me that BlizzCon is like one of the cooler conventions, and it's like super like entertaining, and like there aren't as many smelly people and so on and so forth.
There really isn't, comparatively.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's I think it's just some sort of magic with the Anaheim Convention Center. Like they just pump all the stink out somehow. Probably they put it in jars and ship it to LA because holy crap. But no, like it's the sort of thing where BlizzCon's great. Tons of cool, and but a lot of the actual convention is stuff that you can, like the panels and so on. That's all stuff that you can get through the virtual ticket just as well. Like you can sit at home on your computer watching the DirecTV feed and you'll get all the info that way. In fact, it's a little bit more convenient that way because you don't have to run around from panel to panel. You don't have to worry about finding a seat. You don't occasionally just can't hear what's going on and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's cool. Okay, you can there's a whole bunch of info and stuff that comes out. Great. But like the reason to be there has almost nothing to do with the actual info that comes out. It has everything to do with the other people that are there, like just surrounding yourself with other people who are just really, really super into the same things you are, and just there's such a positive atmosphere the entire time, even when like the announcements aren't so great. Like there was the year, 2010, where there wasn't a World of Warcraft announcement. and it was still like super positive. Everybody like online, people were like, I can't believe they haven't announced the next expansion. But like at BlizzCon, everyone's like, man, it's BlizzCon. This is great.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I saw Chris Metzen. Like, let's talk about it for an hour. And like, but no, it's like BlizzCon has always been sort of like a yearly recharge for me of like, no, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna surround myself with all these people, and I'm gonna come out of this so like energized and excited about Blizzard again and the games again and everything, and it's super cool. And I'm really hoping that now that I am a community representative, and now that Blizzard is doing more like serious things at other conventions, like
PAX, big time.
Yeah, like PAX East was where we announced Hearthstone. Like, that's a new game coming from Blizzard. Didn't wait till BlizzCon to announce it, just talked about it at PAX East. So I'm hoping that since Blizzard is having a stronger presence at these other conventions now, and I'm on the community team, I'm hoping that means I get the opportunity to go to them.
Yeah, you should go. Like, dude, actually, you guys have such a great presence. Like, it's just like this really cool booth that's just like the way it's set up. It's like there's 4 sides to the booth and there's 4 games being demoed.
Yeah. We my boss actually asked me if I wanted to go to PAX Prime, but I had some friends coming in from out of town. So I was
your
like,
friends.
I should probably not be like, hey, so I'm not even gonna be here.
Jesus.
See you later.
These silly friends.
But yeah,
you can make new friends at this place.
Yeah, isn't there another PAX coming up sometime soon?
Yeah, PAX South.
Yeah,
this PAX South, brand new. It's coming to Houston, I believe.
Yeah, it's somewhere in Texas.
Let's see, PAX South. I should know since I'm going. San Antonio. God, I was way off.
Well, Texas is pretty large. So.
Yeah, I know. But San Antonio is like an entire state off. Yeah, so San Antonio, January 23rd, 25th. That's
maybe I'll be able to go to that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be totally great. I'm tired of meeting all your coworkers and being like, oh, hey, so how's Lord doing? Like I saw Christina Sims. I'm like, oh, hey, Christina, what's going on? She's like, oh, hey, not much. I'm like, so what's Lord doing? He's like, who? And I'm like, what's Kevin Michael Johnson doing? Who, by the way, was like the only dude not there.
Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't there. Like, they sent the entire like Heroes team
except him.
Yeah, I think he is focusing more on StarCraft now, but I honestly don't know.
I know that. Yeah, so I literally asked Christina about that, so I wasn't making that up. And she said that his time is split between the two.
Yeah,
so he's working on one or the other.
And like now there's Josh RZ. AKA Rockset, or however I refuse to pronounce it Rocket, because there's already a like major public figure named Rocket in the gaming industry, so I call him Rockset all the time. He loves it. But actually I don't think I've ever called him Rockset in his presence whatsoever.
You should.
I should. I just call him Josh because there's like 400 Joshes that work at Blizzard, so I can just say Josh and probably get someone that I need to talk to. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh,
was he there? I didn't see him though.
He was there. He was doing a live stream a lot of the time.
Okay.
But then he's sort of heading up the Heroes team now. So I think Kevin is sort of saying, okay, these plates are all spinning now. I can spend more time with the StarCraft team. So yeah, PAX is dead now.
PAX is. Wait, I gotta talk about my favorite indie games. Oh, please.
Speaking of things that died,
what died?
Your favorite indie games? I don't know.
No.
Well, I mean, they probably have things that die in them.
That's true. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's kind of makes them what they are, games. We kill things. That's all we do in games, except for Fez. Fez is like the only one where you don't kill
unless
things.
There's death.
See, that's why you should play Fez. It's like the only game where you don't kill things.
I did start playing Fez. Because it was free on the PS4, so I started playing it, and I went, huh. And then I stopped playing it.
Well, at least it made you go, huh.
I mean, it seems like it's a fun game. I just, like, I don't know, something about so there's all these things and you have to collect all of them and you have to navigate around collecting these things. Like, I was starting to get into the, you know what, I don't really care sort of feeling. Like, this thing blew up and there's all these like cube fragments everywhere and I collected a cube and now I need 20 of them to open this door. I really don't care.
So did you not have any experience with the game prior to playing it?
I think I watched like 3 seconds of your BFF report on it or something.
Oh, I don't think I did BFF, but I had like a live stream.
And like I just remember that's what it was. Yeah,
I remember my mind was like blown when like he discovered that you could turn the world or whatever. You got the feds and you could like turn. And then like the reboot really thing.
The reboot thing. I did really like that. I thought that was super clever.
Yeah. And I was just like, I mean, I don't even remember what I was thinking at that point, but I just remember that my whole life revolved around this game at that moment. I was like, they did that? What? I freaked out. But there's some really good indie games coming out. I mean, there's some like kind of not quite indie games anymore. Like, it's hard to call them indie games. Like Don't Starve, right? Don't Starve multiplayer was. I actually have a video on the Zam channel, the Zam YouTube channel, where I did a playthrough there, and it was a lot of fun. Like towards the end of the playthrough, like I'm running around, and they had this like Armageddon thing where basically they reset the servers every 18 minutes or something, and it would just release a whole bunch of hounds and then meteors, and then then basically just kill you, and then they wipe the server and start over. And so I'm running around. I'm Willow. Willow is the little fire starter girl, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's dark. There are hounds. I'm dodging hounds. There's meteors coming out of nowhere. And Wilson's like, another person there was like playing Wilson. And Wilson's like running with me. He has a torch. And we're all like, run, Wilson, run. And we're like running and everything. And then like his little lit spot, right? Like right in my screen, that little light spot that had Wilson in it just extinguishes. And I hear the little sound that he died. I was like, no, Wilson.
No. Wilson.
And then I died like immediately afterwards. But it was like, I could totally see that being so much fun. And then Magicka 2. I mean, you played Magicka, right?
I don't remember. I own it. I don't remember if I've ever actually launched it.
So if you do decide to launch it one day, you need to launch it with somebody. Like, you have to play. You have to do co-op.
You have to like hold somebody's hand and be like, "Hold me."
It's always. So first off, team kills are always on, right? And you're wielding magic, and there's a ton of different things you can do with magic. So you are like constantly killing your friends. But Magicka 2 definitely looks like a whole lot of fun. We were doing the demo playthrough, and we had and it was like a set amount of time they had to go there. A set level. And we're like kind of going through the level and everything. And Misha, who's the camera guy who was helping us out for PAX and filming Lindsay and everything, he was filming me because I wanted to do the Magicka one, right?
Right.
But we were, all three of us, we had to do the playthrough first because they wouldn't let us film it. And so we're doing the playthrough. And we get to the boss, and the boss comes out and he's like, roar. And then like all of a sudden the boss is dead. And we're like, what? Even the developer was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what? And Misha was the one that killed him. Like, he did some combination of something and just took the boss from like 100 to 0. Like, it just no time flat. And Misha's like, I don't know what I did. It's like,
it reminds me of what was the game? I remember seeing a video about this. It was some game that you were playing. Was it? Oh, it was the Secret World. Where you were like breaking the game in front of the developers. Was it a video, or were you just telling me about that at one point? Like jumping over fences and the mobs were just padding around.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I did that in a video. I remember I could see it in my head that I was doing it, and I know that I was doing it in such a way where it was like, what was it for the developers? Maybe it was at a con. But yeah, it was the zombie AI. They wouldn't go through fences or over fences. And so I was able to last longer and kill like a giant horde of zombies by just jumping over a fence over and over again. And they kept like repathing to go around.
Nice.
But at least then I knew what I was doing. Misha's is like, I hold controller and I rub face on. I don't understand. Like, he just didn't know.
By the way, Just want to let you know, I just got your text from earlier, and yes, I'm still good for recording a podcast.
Oh, you're still good?
Tonight.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you just got that. Clearly, that's not... I sent you that text, and then you Skype me, and you're like, hey, so we good tonight? It's like, what is going on?
Well, it was good timing then.
All right, well, okay, you need another phone or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. Skype. I'll just Skype.
I should give you my actual number at some point, because, like... I keep
is this
forgetting.
like Google Voice or something?
Yeah, it's Google Voice, because I went through a phase of like a month where it was right before the BlizzCon that year. It was at 20.
I thought we were friends, bro. I thought we were friends.
Well, it was like, no, what I need to do is I need to set up a Google Voice number, and then I'll use this as all of my work-related stuff, and then all my like personal stuff is going to be on this other one. And I gave it to like 2 people, and then with it stupid, I'm never going to do it again. So like you and Mike Shaftnet have the wrong phone number.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I even know probably where you gave us that number too. It was in that hotel room that night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you and I were like huddled in the corner, and I think IRL Jasmine came and like jumped on us for like a photo, and then like left.
Yeah, that sounds like Jasmine.
Yeah, she's like butts, Gurdjieff, butts, and then it was like that was the end. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. That was actually a really good party.
Yeah.
Damn. There's so much PAX stuff. Below, go check out Below. I went and I did a tour and I played like a ton of indie games in the Mega Indie booth. And I could really, I mean, it's pretty obvious that when you go through the indie booth, you kind of see where the reinforcement for like today's where the next direction that our like the popular game is gonna go, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious that sci-fi is coming back. It's gonna get a lot stronger. So like the modern day stuff is definitely gonna start fading, I think, and sci-fi is gonna kind of take over because every indie game was some variation of sci-fi.
Yeah, well, and I think like sci-fi just as a theme is something that's starting to hit the point that like fantasy did like 20 or 30 years ago now, where like everything used to be, well, there's like wizards and I guess there's like knights and stuff. Like it was hard to distinguish. Like fantasy was just medieval plus magic basically for a while.
Yep.
And then it got to the point where it's like, no, there's like orcs and there's elves and there's like 7 different kinds of elves and there's all this other stuff, and like things like Tolkien came into the scene, and like things just started to really go. I guess Tolkien was around a little bit before then, but still like people started getting really into like the Lord of the Rings stuff and like Warhammer and Warcraft and all that stuff. So I kind of feel like sci-fi is starting to mature to that point where there's enough people that grew up on sci-fi that are now just going in a different take with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is sci-fi, but it's not really sci-fi, I guess. It's not Star Trek, it's something else sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Guardians of the Galaxy, right? I haven't seen the movie yet, so no spoilers or anything.
Oh my god.
I know. We're going to try to go this weekend. We're going to try to go this weekend, man.
Oh my god. Go see it right now.
I can't right this second.
Right now.
Right now. Look at wake up my wife. Babe. I know.
Yes. It's important.
It's super important. We will see it this weekend. How's that? I will make it a point to go and see it. Anyways, it's Guardians of the Galaxy is a space opera, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. And it's basically like the biggest and probably one of the best movies. Now, obviously, to its credit, it was probably very well written.
I've never seen it, but it's one of the best movies.
Like I said, it probably was. I'm not saying I did. Just saying, but
I don't even know what you're saying.
But I mean, like, there's things that that can help really boost this this direction. Like, you know, again, it's a lot of sci-fi. It's also a lot of turn-based stuff, which we'll get to that in a second. But you know, when you have movies and shit that are justifying the games, like it's a sci-fi, so people are used to seeing laser beams, or they're used to seeing doors open by themselves, or, you know, metal walls, or, you know, you can't, if you punch a hole in this wall, then you're gonna vacuum in space and you're gonna die, or whatever, you know, like there's a certain mentality that you build up around it. If it's justified by, you know, a movie or a series of movies that really helps back that up and really portrays that and buries in your head that, hey, sci-fi is awesome.
Yeah.
And guess what? Like it'll probably work out.
Yeah, and we're also like starting to see a lot more sci-fi that's focused on like the storytelling and not the it's in space sort of side of things. Like I love Star Trek, don't get me wrong, but Star Trek was very much a show that's about it's in space. Like, look at all these crazy things. Like, sure, there was character development, sort of, I guess, there was stuff that was going on that wasn't directly related to It's in Space, but every episode was, well, we came across this thing that's happening, and it's happening because space, and so space for a while.
Star Trek. Well, The Next Generation is the one I speak on. It was teaching you how to be a good person
in space.
In space, yeah. If you happen to be in space,
but like we started to see, like even you look at something like Firefly, which was sure it was in space, but space was just kind of there. Like they could have done the same exact show and had it just be a Western, or had that
is yes, that is very true. That's a very good point.
Yeah, like
I'm sure Firefly fans will completely disagree.
Really. Yeah, well, I'm just like no, I think that if you're a true fan of Firefly, I don't know, then you could look at it and say, no, this show was good for the characters, it was good for the storytelling, it was good for the things that happened in it. It was not because of where they happened. Yeah,
that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Defiance is kind of the same way. Like the second season has gotten like a ton of really good reviews, so it's like. It's when I watched Defiance the first season, I was like, oh, it's a freaking space western. Like that's exactly what it is. Did you watch any Defiance?
No, I didn't.
It's totally a western, man.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Yeah, a little bit of a political, spin on it and stuff like that. Like it's not a bunch of dirty dudes like duking it out. I mean, there's definitely a lot of like politics and stuff, but still, it was a space western. It was really interesting, or future sci-fi western, what do you want to call it, but.
So, speaking of future sci-fi western. Wildstar? I don't know. No, Destiny. We should talk about Destiny.
Yes! Which comes out
Tuesday.
Damn.
Yeah. So...
Oh, man. Man.
Interest of full disclosure, it's an Activision game. I work for Activision, kind of. That doesn't matter in the slightest. I have absolutely nothing to do with Destiny at all. It's by Bungie. It's not by Blizzard. It's not even by Activision, really.
I could never accuse you of being a shill for this game based off of how much you've gushed over it. Like it's such genuine gushing.
It's just so good.
It's obviously always in private too. Like I was like, it's not like, Laura, are you trying to set me up here, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, I'm really going after this one sale.
Exactly.
No, like the game is just so I played it on. I didn't have a PS4 yet at the time, so I was playing the beta on Xbox 360, and even on the 360, I was like, "Holy crap, this game looks amazing!" Like,
yeah, totally. I was playing PS3, same thing.
Yeah, they took the 360 and the PS3, these old like, this isn't as good as the computer you threw away to get the computer you threw away to get the one that you're using right now, sort of hardware. Like, because the 360 and the PS3 both, they came out so long ago at this point. And they were like, you know what? We have found every single possible way to squeeze every last bit of processing power out of this so that we can make the game look this good and still run at, I don't think it runs at 60, but it's like 30 frames per second. So it still looks smooth enough. And it looked amazing. It plays amazing. I mean, Bungie knows how to make a console shooter. Let's be honest. Bungie knows a thing or two about console shooters. They've had a couple good ones.
A few. God, so many. Yes, yes, they know.
Yeah.
I mean, just shooters in general. I mean, they have 3 marathon games, and how many Halos were they part of? 4? No, 3.
No, 4. I think because didn't they do the ODST?
Yes, ODST. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a lot of shooters 30, for one.
314, whatever it is, 38 Studios.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
It starts with a 3. I don't remember the name of the company now. But yeah, so Destiny.
It's
Destiny.
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 Yep. You should see. I wish you guys could see the show notes. It's basically Destiny, and it's outline style. Destiny indent. Destiny. Next line. Destiny indent again. Destiny.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Obviously. We obviously at Zam, we're also looking forward to it. Like, we have a bunch of people who are just like, we have a lot of really cool stuff lined up for, we have DestinyDB.com, and we have. I mean, I don't want. I can't obviously can't disclose like how we got the information, but we have like almost full API access, and the API has everything you could possibly want to know about your character.
Sweet.
Like we could build leaderboards from all the PvP related stuff, even PvE related stuff.
Oh wow.
We could rebuild the entire armory essentially. There's so much stuff, and so we have a lot of tools that we're building that we're still working on. That it's going to be. That's just going to be amazing. Like we already have, like the first weekend, we were all like, the first beta week, we were all like, oh, we got to jump into this. It's going to be amazing. And like one of our dudes is all like, oh, you know what? I think I could build this talent calculator out, you know? Like and like, he's like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And like, it was like the weekend, right? After the weekend, he's like, oh yeah, here it is. And it looked amazing. It's like, really, dude? Like he just got bored. He just built this. Okay.
Dude, ZAM devs are ridiculous. I remember the Mists of Pandaria reveal at BlizzCon 2011. Yes. Perk was there from Wowhead, Perculia, and like I was with Zam, she was with Zam, so we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I gotta head out though. I gotta go build a talent calculator for Mists of Pandaria." And I was like, "Okay." And then I saw her like 3 hours later at a party, and I was like, "Hey, so is there something wrong? Like, were you just not able to get the talent calculator?" She says, "No, it's already done. It's already up." I'm like, "Oh." Okay. Wow.
Yeah, you know, and like we reference that a lot. It's like because that was a lot of hard work. Like it may have seemed like it just kind of came across as like, oh yeah, it's done, but it's really like to get like all that information that they showed us and to write it all down and you know to go to the demos and write all this stuff down and it's a lot of information to get over. And I don't even know how she did it honestly. And I was there. And it was just like, yeah, like they work really hard. And you know, you mentioned devs, and yeah, it's not just the devs, like the people on the front end too. It's like they do so much amazing stuff. I don't understand how you know what it is? They actually have more hours in their day than us normal folks do. They just, they live on a different, like it wasn't Men in Black, like, oh yeah, 36-hour day, right? Like they just have a different day than we do.
Like sometime while we're all asleep, time pauses for like 4 hours, but not for these people. They just keep going.
Exactly.
And then we all just catch up in the morning.
That's exactly what it is. That's what it feels like. But yeah, so we have
Destiny.
We have right. We have every item. We have the database that's up right now. But it has every item that you could want. We had all the in-game achievements. We have all of the quests. Like just like everything you could possibly want, like we have it, and so like we're now like kind of we're just like fleshing it out and just getting things ready, and then we're gonna basically launch it. So obviously on the ZAM front, like we're all like nerding out over this thing. We cannot wait. It's like a pending boner, is what it is. It's like you know it's coming, like when you're on a bus, right? And you know it's coming, and you know you can't stop it, and you're like, no, oh, damn, okay, dang, you know it's there, you know.
So what you're saying is you're going to shift uncomfortably based on Destiny.
Apparently you have to just like flex your legs or something. I don't know. Someone said that. I haven't ridden a bus in a while, so I haven't had a chance to test that theory.
Wow.
I should try that.
All right.
Yeah.
So
apparently you don't ride buses either, but all right then.
I don't. Because no buses exist in Orange County. Well, at least
true.
not in Irvine.
That's true. Hey, but I'm getting a PS4 for this though. Just want to throw it out there. Like I have
I was gonna ask. You're gonna play it on PS4, and oh yeah, we were talking about it earlier too. Like Shizzle's gonna play it on PS4, and we're gonna all have to be like PS4 buddies and shoot internet space.
Yes, shoot internet space.
Yeah.
Kill internet things. Yeah.
It reminds me of, like, this is totally random. Has barely anything to do with anything. So a bunch of my guys, a bunch of my friends from the guild, sentences. A bunch of my friends from my WoW guild at one point, we were all playing Tribes for a little while when it was first like really getting into open beta, Tribes Ascend, and we always called it Space Halo because Halo isn't already in space. So we're like, no, it's sense. Zoom Space Halo. We're gonna play some Zoom Space Halo, and I don't know why that stuck. But yeah, so Destiny is basically Space Halo.
That's crazy. Wow. Wow, God. It's Halo minus Cortana. Well, actually, Halo is now minus Cortana.
Yeah. Oh, spoilers. Well, it's minus Cortana plus what's the actor's name?
Dinklebot.
Yeah.
Dinklebot.
I don't know why that made sense to me enough to say, oh yeah, Dinklebot.
Peter Dinklage is the voice of the ghost.
Yeah.
It's been, I think Shizzle calls it Dinklebot or something. I don't know. Or you call it Dinklebot. I don't know.
I don't.
You don't? Okay,
now I do.
I only talk to you and Shizzle, so really it's just like...
now it's Dinklebot.
It is now the Dinklebot. Period. The end. But it's yeah, you're right. It is. It's totally like this little bit looking thing from Tron that just helps guide you along and says corny things every once in a while.
Yeah, it's basically Cortana, but with Dinklage.
He's kind of attractive in his own right, but he's no Cortana though.
Yeah.
Nah, he's no Cortana.
Yeah. So.
Oh, my PS4 is white though. I should throw that out there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I did. That's why I'm getting it like on the 9th. Like after you guys are already like 12 or 18 hours into the fight. That's when I'll be starting. So I'll be level 0. You guys will be like, what was that, like 8 or something?
I'm gonna be also level 0 because I will probably not have had time to play it yet.
Oh, you're not taking the day off?
No, I have too much to do.
If we didn't have a stupid site, I would take the day off. I would totally take the day off. Although I'm gonna plug that shit in right here in my room into one of my monitors, and I'm just gonna like do a mission real quick. Okay, work.
Yeah, I thought about waiting for the white PS4, but then like D3 Ultimate Evil Edition came out, so I was like, nah, I'll go ahead and get a black one. That's fine. Like, then I got
patience,
weird,
man, patience.
Well, no, lack of patience. I wanted to play Diablo.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, patience is overrated. Diablo greater than patience.
Dude, everybody is telling me it's like, oh yeah, you're biased, whatever, right? But then like my buddies are telling me, and it's like, do you guys know lore? They're telling me that it's just so good.
Yeah, Diablo is a game that I've started playing again from scratch like 7 or 8 times now, and every single time I've been like, oh my god, this game is so much fun. Like
it is. You're right. It totally is.
And even now, like with the on the PC, even Seasons just came out, and like I rolled a hardcore seasonal Witch Doctor, and it's like totally from scratch when you do that. Like you don't get access to like your stash from the normal mode. You don't get access. Like you don't have any gold. You don't have any of your trade skills unlocked or anything, because it's like the seasons are like they're designed for exactly how I play Diablo, which is I play for a while and then I'm like, yeah, let's start from scratch again, because it's just literally like you play and there's leaderboards and there's like special new items that you can only get in the season, and at the end of the season, as long as I think you have to level to 70, which is no big deal. But as long as you've done that, then you get like a special piece of transmog gear that you can use on all of your characters. But like the fun of it for me is like the reason that I went to hardcore was like I've always been in normal hardcore mode. I've always been like normal hardcore. Yeah. In the non-seasonal hardcore mode, I've always been like, well, I don't really want to spend a whole ton of time on a character that I might just lose at any point, and like it makes me go, eh. Like I've always sort of been into the idea of being that guy that can say, yeah, I've got a Paragon level 200 hardcore character. I've never died once, and if I died tomorrow, I would have lost 6,000 hours of my life to this thing or whatever. But like I've always sort of been like intrigued in that sort of, because it's just such like almost like a badge of honor. Like, yes, I did this thing and it's super cool.
Yeah.
But I've never really been able to get into it because I'm always like, but it's gonna die at some point, and then I'm gonna be so mad. But like with the seasonal characters, I'm gonna lose it anyway, because at the end of a season they wipe everything, and the new season starts, and everything starts from scratch again. There's like leaderboards and stuff.
Oh,
so I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I can make this character knowing full well at some point I will lose this. And then I don't have to, I'm not as worried about like getting too attached to it because I can't. Like I've just from the
it's gonna be gone anyways.
Yeah, the goal with this is never to keep this character forever. It's to lose it at some point and hope that I lose it later rather than sooner.
Right.
So,
yeah, that makes sense.
And it's been so much fun playing it on hardcore. Like it completely changes the entire dynamic of the game in such a great way. Like normally when you play Diablo, you're like, this does 1% more damage. Never mind the fact that I lose like 5 billion hit points and I'll die a bunch. I don't really care. I'll die.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, 100% damage. Damage is the only stat that matters. But when you're playing on hardcore, you actually start to think about those other things. It's like, okay, well, this is experience on it, and I guess experience is good, and it's probably way better than this. Oh, and this one has life per hit. Well, I guess I hit a lot, so life per hit sounds good. And like you start to actually really think about the gear that you're getting and how it's just really fun. So that's me gushing about D3 for a little while. The game is just so ridiculously good. I'm the biggest Josh Mascara fan for how he's been able to, like, obviously he's not the only developer on the team by any stretch of imagination, but like since he has taken over as the game director, I just feel like so many good things have happened in that game.
And just to clarify, I have definitely put in my fair share of Diablo 3 time. As a matter of fact, I fought Malthael for 30 fucking minutes.
Yes.
And died in the process and still got the kill. So I definitely put him. But you know, in hardcore mode, Shizzle and I actually we made a couple characters, and he died. We were like level 23. He died something stupid. Like it was something totally dumb. I have the recording somewhere. One day I'll edit it and put it together because all I remember is I was like yelling. I was like, not like this, because it was something so ridiculous. And that's the thing. Like to what you're saying, it's like we may not have been as adamant on focusing on health versus anything else. We may have been like, oh yeah, we hit harder now. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then it's like, oh, guess what? That dead.
Yeah.
Like, damn it, no!
I've been
raised fists in the air,
terrified of losing even a little. Like, I have never come anywhere close to dying on this Witch Doctor so far. Even when like I accidentally pulled 2 mobs and a treasure goblin who I then chased through 3 packs of elites and stuff. Because you got to kill the treasure goblin.
You have to. You can't let him go.
I'm so always offensive. Like, it's a really bad idea to chase him as I run off through seven packs to try and get to him. But I still haven't ever come really close to dying. I'm playing on the highest difficulty I have available at the moment, which is just expert. For some reason, I don't know why that is. But I'm still like terrified of because every once in a while I take a hit and my health dips down to like half, and I'm like, oh crap, what if I had taken 2 of those? Or what if I didn't have as much health as I do or something? So I'm always like, no. I got to get everything I possibly can that increases my survivability. And it's still really fun. So I like it.
Yes, well, I will have the opportunity to play that. And another one I'm actually really excited for is playing Warframe on the PS4.
Yeah.
Now that I've been making like this list of games that it's like, you know what it is? It's a list of excuses to get a PS4, right? and honestly, like Diablo 3 didn't even come into the picture at the point because I already had a pretty hefty list. But by the time Destiny was like, oh, Destiny is going to be the final signature at the bottom, that's basically like signing off the credit card receipt, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just going to sign it Destiny. But there's so many good games on the PS4, and I just could not pass it up. Towerfall, Ascension, obviously Warframe. I cannot wait to get into Warframe, which is, I guess, now available on Xbox One. So I mean, it's good for Xbox One, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Poor Xbox One. I feel so bad for Xbox One. Like,
you had to tell me that thing you were telling me before this about the launch party. It was just that's too good.
They're trying so hard, and to their credit, they're doing a lot of stuff to try and reverse their image. But oh my god, I think that the damage may have been done at this point, and like they're just struggling so much to move copies. So they launched in Japan today or yesterday, I don't remember exactly. And no one showed up. Like, no one. They had this big launch party. No media showed up to the Xbox One launch party in Japan. And I mean, Japan was already not a great market for the...
I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to interrupt, but I just Googled it because I missed the article, and the picture is like a whole bunch of cones set up to like for the line, and there's no line.
There's no line. Yeah, I saw that picture.
Oh my god.
Is fun. Like, the headlines have been so great too. Like, there was one I saw, it's like GameSide or something was the name of the site. It was like Xbox One's Japan launch going exactly as expected. And like the Hollywood Reporter, actually, I was reading this article earlier and I kept it open because this quote is so amazing. So there was this electronics, just some Tokyo electronics store. The clerk that was there that the Hollywood Reporter was talking to asked that it not be named, for good reason, I think, based on what he had to say. He said, "Honestly speaking, we haven't sold a single Xbox yet today. The Xbox has never been a big seller, but we would expect a few customers on the release day." Like, okay, this console came out and we sold none of them.
Oh, man.
I don't think that's happened since the N-Gage.
The N-Gage. Oh god. Or like the Virtual Boy or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, even the Virtual Boy, like, it sold a bunch of copies. They just all got returned because people started like throwing up and having migraines and stuff.
Yeah. And just in general, just not good.
Yeah.
Dude, like
the Virtual Boy flop was due to what people were actually doing, like the results of people playing it. The Xbox One's like Japan flop at the moment is more along the lines of like just no one has the opportunity to be disappointed. They're not selling it.
Like, do you see that? I just gave you a headline that I just found. I'm going through. I'm just like looking at these headlines. It's like, wow, they are just as good as you're describing.
Yeah.
Like, Japan launch of Microsoft Xbox One, a damp squib. Like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
But goddamn, is it just like
maybe a damp squid?
A squib. Not even squid. Squib. Squib.
Like
Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to Google that.
Oh wait. So is that
it's
maybe
it's
like
a miniature explosive device?
Oh.
That's what it says, but it's damp.
Oh, so like a firecracker.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's something that it was expected to blow up, but it was actually like damp, so it didn't.
It was something that was expected to not even make a very big impact, and just was actually delivered much worse than expected.
Yeah.
Wow.
Poor Xbone.
That's so bad.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not that it's a bad console. It's a combination of a lot of things. When they announced it, they focused too much on TV and not enough on the games. It costs $100 more than the PS4. It's not quite as good in terms of the hardware for the PS4. And like, sure, I'm always like a little bit jealous when like one of my coworkers who lives near me, Kyvex, I'll go over to his apartment from time to time. Mm-hmm. And he'll just be like, Xbox turn on, and it just comes on, and like the TV turns on and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And my PS4, I have to do crazy things like find the TV remote and and push the button on the PS4 controller to turn it on. Like, that's crazy.
Get a Harmony remote, dude.
Yeah, well, but it's that, like, that's it. That's the sort of thing that I'm like, okay, yes, this is neat, but is it $100 neat? I don't really think so. And like, they've been having so much bad press of things like games that have to drop the resolution in order to work at the same frame rate as they do on PS4. Like, I don't remember what game it was recently, but there was an article I was seeing that was something like it was running at 1080p on the PS4 at 60 frames a second, but on the Xbone they had to drop it to like it wasn't as low as 720. It was like 960p or something like that. In order to get it to do the same thing.
Oh god, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not getting an Xbox anytime soon, so it's okay to make fun of it.
Yeah.
I apologize for all of those who...
I'm sure if you have an Xbox, you should not regret your purchase. And like, it's still a next-gen gaming... And like, part of the whole reason that I prefer the PS4 over the Xbone is also sort of in the favor of the Xbone, which is that 99% of the decent games that are coming out are cross-platform anyway. Like Destiny is cross-platform.
Oh, a Tomb Raider Rise of the Thing. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
Tomb Raider Rise of the Thing. Isn't that going to be on PC too? I don't know.
No, it's exclusive on Xbox for 1 year.
Oh, for 1 year.
Yeah.
So there will be a better version that comes out.
I know. It'll be like an ultimate edition of all the DLC and everything in one.
Yeah. Man. Oh, so speaking of not quite related, but I'm still salty about it.
What's that?
The Borderlands pre-sequel.
Why are you so mad?
I'm mad because it's coming out on the 360, the PS3, and the PC, and I'll play it on the the PC anyway.
Right.
But it's not coming out on the PS4 or the Xbone. Not at launch anyway. And
that's kind of behind the times, is it not? Like usually it's like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Like
like they were talking about it and they were like, well, it costs money to develop games on new consoles and we didn't want to do that. So I don't totally know if I buy that. I mean, I think it's fair to say that the vast majority of people right now who own a PS4 or an Xbox One also own a 360 or a PS3. I know a lot of them will have, or at least they did. Yeah. They may have traded them in to get their PS4 or Xbox One. Or they will own a PC too. But yeah. Yeah. So that was something that I was a little bit sad about. A little bit disappointed.
A little bit. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
But it's fine because I'm gonna play it on PC anyway. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you own multiple platforms, really.
Yeah.
To cover all your bases. If you own a PC and then just own like one of the, like one of the last gen and one of the next gen, and you pretty much have every game.
Yep.
Like except for like Halo if you have a PS3 or something. That's pretty much it. Like there's gonna be franchises that you're never gonna touch, but like Xbox is never gonna Uncharted.
Yeah,
but that's gonna be like it though. So it's like as long as you're okay with not having those games that exist on that side, you pretty much have everything.
Yeah.
But damn, I cannot wait. I can't wait. That's the end of that. I can't wait for Destiny. I can't wait for the PS4, and it's just gonna be a really, really, really awesome month.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
So we have a couple things. It's kind of a plug, but not really. Like we have a new show that we're launching tomorrow, where we're actually kind of touches on. It's basically Laura, you probably remember this, and some of you guys watching probably do. I kind of toyed around with the idea of doing a show called BIY News, like balls in your news, right?
Yeah, I remember there was like an episode. Like, wasn't one of the episodes you talked about how I talked for like an hour straight?
I'm pretty sure I probably did.
It was like the first yearly marmot that I did, and you were like, "What is wrong with this guy?
What is wrong with this guy?" Exactly. He talks for like an hour straight, and then look at us now.
Yeah,
it's like an hour and some change right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I always really liked that format where it's just like it's very simple. Green screen, and you have a number of stories, and you come up with like an idea or even a script or whatever to cover like the hottest news of the week, but you want to keep it short so like people can watch a show. And there's a ton of shows out there just that are kind of like it, right? So we set out to do something very similar on the ZAM network, and obviously balls in your news is not necessarily going to translate well to the advertisers, so we don't want to go that route. So we have Friday Update Arcade, and so we went with kind of and it took a long time to like really get right, but it's very After Effects heavy kind of design for the set and everything. And we wanted to give it kind of like a Tron look. I say it's really me. I'm trying to make it sound like it was a decision made by corporate. No, it was like really me just kind of toying with ideas. But I went for this whole like Tron-esque look where it's like, because it's supposed to be arcade, right? It's supposed to be fun. Yeah. It's supposed to be like, whatever. And the production side of it was really difficult, but we had something that we nailed. And Lindsay is our, which you've never actually met. It was funny. Whenever I spent a lot of time with like somebody, and then spend a lot of time with somebody else, I always assume those two people like know each other. It's like, yeah, you know this person. Oh wait, you never met? Okay, well there you go. But yeah, so Lindsay is basically she's the brand ambassador for ZAM, and she's really good on camera, and spending some time with her to kind of work on the delivery of scripted content, that's the hardest thing, man. It's so hard to do, to like read from.
Yeah, you know everything you're about to say, but you still want to sound like you're just making it up as you go.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And so I spent the past couple of days like redesigning her set, because she is, and this is one of the reasons why I hired her, because like I asked her like where she went to go shoot all of her stuff that she was doing like on her own, and she's like, oh, right in my living room. And I was like, wait, so you have studio lights, a green screen, and like a shotgun mic and everything? She's like, yeah. I was all like, you're amazing. Like, yes. And she edits everything herself, right? In this case, we actually have somebody else doing the editing and everything, but but still, like we went there and we reset up the lights and all that, and she's like a sponge for information. Like you just throw some stuff at her and she'll remember it, which is really great. Because I don't have to repeat myself. We redid the camera and everything. It was like 2 days of like hardcore work, because we really wanted like the pilot, or the first episode of the show to be as perfect as we could possibly get it. There's always gonna be rough edges and everything, especially when it comes down to like, you know, reading from like a script or notes or something while you're talking. Like that's, again, like you said, it's the hardest part about doing this.
Yeah. But
yeah, so our first episode is actually dropping today if you're watching this, whatever. Listening, yeah. And so if you have a moment, you should go and check it out, because it is definitely if you ever caught BIY News, where the 3 episodes that I did, you will recognize the format, the snark a little bit, and you just won't recognize the host. Yeah, that's it. You just won't recognize the host. I look terrible in a blue dress, so I had to get somebody else to do it.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of work goes into these shows, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like even shows, you know, another show like Polaris has a show with the Daily Bite with Dex Dex Bonus. That's not her fucking name. But anyways, like it's like when you watch it and there's like this panning camera that goes around. Dodger, there he goes. Yeah. This panning camera. It's like, I know what they're using to do that, and it's like, wow, man, that's a lot of production to just get that panning camera look. So yeah, anyways, lots of production goes into these shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period. That was the point.
I was just as an anecdote to add into this. Some people might remember I used to do a StarCraft 2 like esports recap show called APM, and the show was literally like 5 or 6 minutes long, and I spent probably 60 hours a week on that show. Like, that's why I stopped doing it, because I was like, I don't have time for anything else now because I'm spending all of my time working on this show. The amount of effort that goes into these things that you watch for 3 seconds and go, and move on with your day. Like, someone put their entire life into this thing that you watch for 30 seconds and go, and forget about right afterwards.
I know, it hurts. It hurts so much. It hurts so bad.
Yeah. So speaking of things that people put lives into, since you plugged a thing, I'm going to plug a thing.
Speaking of live
and World of Warcraft.
Oh,
which we were talking about
at some point.
Probably. If you're listening to this, you've probably missed it, but if you've somehow caught this before 10 a.m. Pacific time on Friday, September 5th, 2014, Earth, I don't know how much more specific I can get than that.
Solar system.
I am hosting a live developer chat tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is recording this. Today, as you're listening to it, I am super excited and super nervous and terrified of all the things that could potentially go wrong. And also, I've gained like probably 30 to 40 pounds since I moved to California. So,
Oh, come on.
I don't think it's that much, but I definitely have gotten a little bit thicker around the face.
Really, on the face?
Yeah, like my chin is now.
I just saw your face.
I have a chin.
Oh, you have a chin? Oh, you have an extra chin.
Before. Yeah. I don't have an extra chin, but I have a...
I feel like you had a chin
storing
before.
energy for the winter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
But the winter never comes here because it's Orange County, so...
This is true.
But yeah, WoW Live Developer Q&A. It's me, it's Corey Stockton, it's Dave Kosak. And we're taking questions live, and we're talking about, like, garrisons and stuff, and, like... They're both super excited to talk about a bunch of stuff that people possibly haven't heard before, so I'm really excited for it. It's the sort of thing that I wanted to do when I started at Blizzard, when I took the job, and I'm super stoked that it's now actually starting to happen. So that's really, really super cool. So check that out. If it's after it's already aired, like I said, it's at 10 a.m. On Friday, September 5th, 2014, Solar System.
Are you gonna wait a minute?
But there's gonna be a VOD
time zones don't work when
so.
you get out to the solar system.
Listen, East Universe time or something.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose so. Are you gonna be wearing a suit?
No, I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
Not a t-shirt.
It's a Warlords of Draenor t-shirt. It's pretty awesome.
Boring.
Oh, and I'll give a sneak peek because this won't be out in time for anyone for it to actually be a sneak peek anyway. We're gonna show off some Murloc mugs. Yeah.
Wait, like mugs, like physical mugs?
Like actual like drinking mugs that are shaped like Murlocs. They're pretty awesome.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah, our licensing team has just been going crazy lately and like getting people to make all sorts of awesome stuff. So
Spaceballs the toilet paper. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, damn it. That sounds good. What's it made out of?
I don't know.
Is that going too far? Like, ask what it's made out of?
It's like whatever mugs are normally made. I don't remember the like.
Is it plastic or is it something that will break when you drop it?
No, it's not. It will break if you drop it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So good for like coffee or.
Yeah. It's just a mug, but it's a mug that's slightly shaped like a Murloc.
Slightly shaped. Now I don't know. Like I feel like am I drinking out of a Murloc's mouth? Like what am I doing?
You'll have to tune in and see.
I know, and I have to watch. Dang it! All right. Well, I think we. I
think we killed this one.
I think we talked the ear off of this one. Yeah, for sure. Holy crap! Lots of stuff. Like it's funny. Like, we didn't really have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then we cut things.
yeah. And then we even cut things, and now it's like, well, wow, that was a lot of shit that we had to talk about.
Yeah. Well, we also got like super sidetracked into topics that weren't even on the list too, which is cool. That's the point
things
of the
that we weren't
show.
going to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's part of the draw of the show. Like we talked about Shizzle for I think 15 minutes.
He deserves every one of them.
Yeah.
It was like the shizzle section of the podcast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This week in Shizzle.
Yeah.
Sounds like the worst sort of like that's actually the best name. If Shizzle did like a cooking show. This week in Shizzle, here's what I'm eating.
You should do that. I'll
just pitch the idea to him.
Yeah, I will. Actually, I'll just send him this link and I'll be like, hey, you should watch this.
Or if it's while he's streaming, this week in Shizzle, bullets. Because Daisy. Yeah. Space.
And I didn't really have anything after that, and I was just gonna be like, and just hope something comes to mind, but nothing came to mind. So
that's what you get for getting your hopes up, internet.